Hello, hello, and welcome to this week's Member Spotlight. I'm Susie Daphnis. I'm the CEO at HerBusiness, and every Monday morning about this time, I am thrilled to interview one of our HerBusiness Network members. Now, we are a community of women in industries far and wide. And what we do at these member spotlights is we bring on these experts, these women who are growing and scaling a business, to talk a little bit about their business, their own business journey, but also to leave you with some tips and strategies that you can use in your business and or your life. And today's guest is someone who is a newer member of our community. She is someone who works in the area of transformation and personal development. One of my passions is that what we call the U zone, and that is really working on yourself. Because as business owners, we know that business can be a very bumpy journey, and we might have the best skills in the world, but if we don't have our confidence and our mindset and our grit in the right place, we can really struggle as we go through different stages of growing a business. So I'm very excited to welcome Nichole Stark, who helps women peel back the layers and really look beyond your typical type of coaching so that they really get to understand themselves. I'm really excited to bring her on screen. Hey, have we got you?
Hello. Yes, hello. Thank you for
Hi,
having
and
me.
welcome. I am thrilled to have you here. Now, I had a little bit of an attempt at explaining what you do, but why don't you go ahead and tell us about your business?
Oh, thank you very much. Well, about 2 years ago, I actually left my corporate job. So I was in a corporate job with Suncorp for 23 years, and I decided to leave for many reasons, or actually for about 6 or 7 reasons. But I decided to just cold turkey leave my corporate safety, my safety job, and start a coaching business. I started with, so for the last year, I've focused on women in technology, so coaching leaders that were predominantly women in tech. And that was because it was a safe jump for me. So it was safe for me to move from a technology industry into my own business, where I could focus on the things that I knew really, really well. So I've spent the last year looking at who I am as a coach, looking at these beautiful women. And funnily enough, most of my clients actually weren't women in technology at all, which I found very odd. And it didn't click. I didn't understand. And I spent the year going through many changes, which were similar to change management, where you go through all stages of grief, where you go through the denial and you go through bargaining and all through to acceptance. I spent the last 12 months literally doing that as I was coaching women in tech, or coaching everyone else but women in tech, to be honest. And through that, I found that it actually wasn't women in tech that was my core or my ideal client as such. When I started to do some deep soul searching at the end of last year, what I became very, very clear about was that I actually like helping people get beyond that, so looking deeper within themselves. And it's something that I've done for the last 15 years as a leader. So when I was in that corporate space, I was pushed down a little bit in terms of, you're too compassionate, you're too empathetic, you can't do that, we need to move on and move forward. And I really struggled with that for a long time and didn't really understand my own values. So over the last 12 months, spending time away from a corporate job, getting to know me, I started to really connect to what my values were. And then it clicked. It was almost overnight. It was oh shit, this is what I'm here to do. I'm actually here to help other people that have either not found their voice or not sure what they should be doing, because they actually don't know what their own inner workings are, what their own values are. So my actual business now is looking at not looking at the way you act. So your traditional coaching, like life coaching and business coaching, is more around transactional, how you act, looking at your vision and putting in goals in order to and action planning to get an outcome. Mine is actually looking at how you look at yourself. So really looking at how you are as a person and connecting to you. So if I think about, I don't know if you know, well, you would, of course, Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got triangle, yep. So you've got the physiological, safety, belonging, esteem, and self-actualization. Your traditional coaching is really around that esteem and belonging, and a bit into the safety, but it's more in that middle section of the hierarchy. Whereas I look at self-actualization, which is all about you and your sense of who you are, connecting to those values, how your belief system, and then how you behave with that. So it has has shifted through
Great.
my own journey, I've realised. So that's where I focus at the moment.
Thank you. And you've identified something that I think is very common, is that when we start a business, we may go in thinking it's going to look like this. And it's only once we're there and we're actually working with different clients and we're identifying who are we really drawn to work with and what sort of business model is really going to support us and how do we differentiate ourselves in the market, that we start to form what the business really is. And sometimes it can happen quickly, like it did for you, and sometimes it can take a couple of years. I know for us, we tried a few different things in my first business, and it took us almost 2 years, making some major mistakes to figure out what the viable business model was. Now, you've talked about your ideal client. This is something here at HerBusiness we are on about all the time, really diving in. Yes, we are, because as markets change, as our businesses change, as our own desires about who we want to work with change. Like I know for me, it became a point a few years ago where I was like, I do not want to work with women who are thinking about starting a business. I'm very clear about that. I really want to work with women like you, Nichole, who've started a business and they need support to grow and scale that business. So we're always encouraging you to keep looking at your ideal client and really getting to know him or her or them or depending on what your business is. So tell us, who is your ideal client for this new business? Yeah.
So right now, and again, this may evolve, and I think it's really important as part of that that journey is for me to be self-aware and to adapt as I see the need to adapt. Thank you, Emma. That's lovely. I'm just comments. So for me, my ideal client right now is definitely woman. So I definitely want to work with women at this point. And the age groups could vary, 25 to 35, 40 plus, 60 plus. I think the bit to be aware of is I'm looking at women who are looking at the promotions. They're looking at changing that career, whether it's changing career within an organisation or changing into, pivoting into another part of the organisation, starting their own business from a corporate job, or even those women that have not been at work or they're returning to work after a long period of time and they're really not sure what they should be doing or how they should be doing it. What I do as part of this is I sit down with, and we look at, again, that value system, the belief model, the strengths, and look at how that person, I actually heard an analogy the other day, which I really loved. I look at everyone's operating system. So if you've got a mobile phone as an example, you've got apps that connect to other apps and plugins and this and that. I look at that as the traditional coaching. For me, mine is getting in and digging under the cover and looking at the operating system and how it all hangs together and how it works. And that's what I do to help these women that are looking for that change or looking to have their voice heard.
So one of the things I heard about your ideal client that, again, I think it's worth just noting is it's less about the age than more the situation, their specific path in their own career and where they might be stuck or making a transition. That is one of the things that Nichole would go out looking for, or in the messaging that she puts out, she's not necessarily going for a younger woman or a woman later in her career, but more for a woman who's in that point where she's not being heard, where she's making that transition in business. And when it comes to our ideal client, we really want to know what their pain point is. And for these women, it's very clear that they've forgotten who they are or they've just lost their way. And that, so your marketing, your messaging will speak to that. And maybe it'll show in the imagery women at different stages in their business, but they'll all have this one thing in common. Tell us, typically, if we were someone who fit into the psychographic and the demographic of your ideal client, tell us 3 pieces of advice that you find yourself giving over and over again to these women.
Very simple advice, actually. I go back to basics with a lot of things. Being kind to yourself. So again, I heard the other day, it's as though I've had all these little messages coming to me that to give those analogies to help people understand. When you're on an aircraft and they're giving you the safety tips, they say put the mask on you first before you help other people. And that's similar to being kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself first, and then you're able to do these other things that you want to do, whether it's taking care of other people, starting your own business. So being kind to yourself first and foremost is important. The second one is being brave and being bold. I'm happy to say, and I'm really proud of myself to say, that I've spent the last 2 years being brave and bold, and I have felt myself grow, and I'm in such a happy place at the moment. So being brave and being bold and really pushing that ego aside and be fearless and going forward. And then the last one is connecting to your values. So for me, again, understanding. So for me, I'm a compassionate. I love growth. I love acceptance and tolerance, and that connecting to those values has actually helped me grow my business and grow as an individual. So I always work with values as well. Sorry, and I just realised my puppy's in the background, so I apologise.
That's okay. Oh, you know what? I love it. I love it. I love it when, the puppy's in the background. Sometimes the child will come in the door. It's all working from home. It's absolutely
I've got
fine.
everything's locked. I'm locked down at the moment, but she's got through the gate.
Now, I love these tips so much. I'm actually just going to pop them here in comments. So if you're watching live or if you're watching the replay, you will see those. Unfortunately, the formatting has just gotten lost, but it's all there. It's all there for you. So I'm just going to pop them up there. So it's being kind to yourself. Remember putting on your oxygen mask before putting onto others, being brave and bold, and understanding your values, really knowing who you are. I love it. Now, you've been part of the HerBusiness organization for a little while. One of the things that you were telling me before we went live is that you've been able to get some really good support from some women who've become true friends and alliances. Tell us a little bit about that experience for you and what it is that you were mentioning to me.
I've struggled to have groups of women friends. I'm not afraid to say that, but this particular goals group I'm absolutely in love with. So we're called Goals and Grit, and we've got Leah Debnam. So you guys will probably know this: Leah Debnam, Taylor Oliver, Jenny Knox, Ginny Cole, and Vicky O'Connor. And we've been together now for 4 months, and the support and love I have and admiration I have for these women is just amazing. I've felt supported in my own shift, in my own growth. I find myself helping others. I find that we share each other. Just, if we're having a really shitty day, excuse my language, we will say, on our Facebook page, having a crap day, I just need to blur. And we'll be there with either you go or, okay, talk about it. So really that moral support. We do a lot of business support. We use the 8 pillars of business to help us drive some of the outcomes that we may be stuck on. So if we're overwhelmed with lots of things, then we'll sit there and say, right, let's get it back to basics. So yeah, I do love my goals group, and I highly recommend it. Not everyone may be the right people for you. So the previous goals group I had, Jenny Knox was in there as well. It wasn't the right mix. We struggled a little bit, but that's okay, because now we've all moved on to the ones that actually we're right for. So yeah, I really love my group.
So for those who are watching who are wondering what a goals group is, they're peer-to-peer accountability groups that are part of your HerBusiness Network membership. So as long as you remember the HerBusiness Network, we will, you go through a very simple sort of questionnaire that asks you what you're looking for, what sort of goals you're looking to set, what your availability is like, and we put you into these groups of 3 to 6 other business owners. They can be anywhere in Australia. They can be in all sorts of industries. And then we do our best job of matching people to each other. And the matching happens on account of what your needs are. And so these groups come together for 6 months, but often they will stay together for a year, 2 years, 3 years. We've had a couple of groups who've stayed together for 10 years because these become it's like having an advisory board in your business where you have a core group of people who are also growing and scaling a business, who you can ask questions about, whether it's about what's happening in your marketing or in your systems. Nichole just mentioned the 8 pillars. They are our 8 growth zones. These are 8 areas of business that any sustainable business needs to have working. And inside of HerBusiness, we're teaching women how to up-level themselves across these areas as they grow their business. And then the goals groups are a great way to stay on track. But the goals groups are also there, as Nichole said, if you're just having a bad day, and you don't want to tell your partner or your kids, or you don't want to take it out on, the mailman, whatever it is, you have this group of people that you can go and you can bitch and moan to, who are there just to listen to you and not let you go into a spiral or go into a victim, but to really just hold you accountable to, okay, how do we get you back on track? So very, very powerful. And once you join the HerBusiness Network, this is something that becomes available to you, is to create this accountability group, and something we're very, very proud of, because every day we're hearing about the wins and achievements that these women are having on account of having someone to be accountable to. Because as business owners, and this, Nichole, we can be a little slippery if there's no one who knows what our goals are, right? We can say, I'm going to do this, and then life happens and things or we get a little confronted, or we feel a little bit like something is a little bit too much of a stretch and we hold back. But when we have a goals group or an accountability group, whether you have one inside of Her Business Network or if you're not yet a member, somewhere in your life, to have people who are going to ask more of you than you do. That is why we created the goals groups. Now, Nichole, you've got a brand new program that you are just working on now. Go ahead and tell us about that.
Yes, thank you. So I normally have 3 and 6 month packages for my coaching, but because I've transitioned, I really am excited to offer this new package or program, which is really about diving deep and getting under the covers in it quite quickly, to be honest. So I've got a 6-week intensive package, and it's called Your Own Uniqueness. So it's all about you, and we look at exploring. So we explore the values, we look at your strengths and beliefs. We then start to elevate. So now that we know who you are, let's actually look at how we can elevate and reduce those either self-limiting beliefs or some unconscious bias that you may have about yourself. And then we evolve. So once we've explored who you are, and then we've elevated into where you want to be, and then we go through to, okay, now let's reflect and have a look at the awesomeness that's just transpired over the last few weeks. So that's the actual the program, and it's kicking off from today. So it will be available for the next 6 weeks at a discounted rate, especially for Her Business membership. And yeah, it's really looking at shifting your own beliefs in yourself, and that some people find that difficult or they don't think it can happen, but I can definitely assure you it can happen. It's happened to me and various other clients that I've worked with, so I'm really excited.
And is your website the best place for people to find out, or is there a better place?
Probably the Facebook page. Because I have been transitioning over the last couple of months, the website is more focused on the women in technology, but it's still a way to get access to me. My Facebook page, which is
the details.
Yeah, I've just literally changed it. I think it's
the Nichole Stark Facebook page. No, I'm going to there's a few Nichole Stark, so I'm going to let you go ahead and pop that in the comments there so that we've got, and then when we're done here, I'll make sure that we update this post to make sure that it's got the right address.
Okay, so Her Evolution Today is the Facebook page. So that should be, Her Evolution Today is the Facebook page. So that's where I'm starting to load more information on, and today I'll be doing a live on there just to give more information about the package as well.
And you said it's called Her Evolution Today?
Yes, that's the Facebook page.
All right, we are going to find that page. Nichole, you're going to find that page and give me the link, and I'm going to update this post so that we've got that for you. And yeah, so go ahead and learn more about this package that is just starting up now, and ask about the discount because you heard it from here at Her Business. What would you like to leave us with?
What I like to leave? I think the big thing I've really learned over the last 4 months is, I don't know if everyone's heard of the Healthy Mind Platter. And this is something around taking time out for sleep, physical. I'm reading it because I'm still getting used to it, but sleep time, physical time, focus time, connecting time, play time, downtime, and time in. So I'll add this as well to the.
Please do. It sounds great.
Really about looking at what you do and making sure that you're taking time out to have some fun, taking some time out not to think of anything and just veg in front of Grey's Anatomy, having that sleep time. Really, so similar to that 8 growth zones, this is just another way of putting together how you should take care of yourself, and are you actually taking care of yourself? So for me, it's being kind to yourself and making sure that you're taking time out to cater for all parts of you, not just the business you. It needs to be all of you.
Got it. I love it. I love it. I found that URL, people. Facebook page. There it is. I'm just putting it in the comments here, and I will update this post as well. Hey, thank you so much for being my guest today. It's been wonderful to have you join me. Thank you so much for your contribution to our community, and good luck with that goals group and your continued success with that. Thank you so much, Nichole.
Thanks, Susie. See you later.
Thank you. Thank you so much. What I love about having guests like Nichole on is that you get to see the richness that is inside of our community, the amazing women from all sorts of industries that make up the tapestry that is the Her Business Network. Now, our community is one which is closed for most of the year, but a couple of times a year, we do open the doors. And right now, if you request your invitation to join the Her Business Network, All you need to do is go on over to herbusinessnetwork.com. I will put that link here below so that you can see that, but it's just herbusinessnetwork.com. You can request an invitation. Now, what we're doing on the 19th, 20th, and 21st of this month, we are opening the doors for 3 days only. Like I said, we only do this a couple of times a year, but we've had so many requests from women who are part of our free group, from women who are already in the community, who want to invite their friends, that we've decided to open the doors just for 3 days. What this means is you get access to the most collaborative, most supportive community for women business owners. For less than $20 a week, you get incredible training and masterclasses, free advertising for your business, marketing training so that you can bring in new leads and grow your business, plus accountability across all those 8 areas that Nichole mentioned. So one of the things we do is we get to see, where is your business right now and what are the gaps? Do you need to be doing more marketing? Is it more a matter of systemizing your business? Is it that you don't really have a strategic plan, or is it that the products and services you offer are just not that viable? And once you know where you are, we can put you on track with the different training and experts and support inside of our community to make progress on those areas of business. We've also got the world's best, I believe, marketing training for small business owners, loads of resources, whether you want to start doing Facebook ads or you want to do challenges, whether you want to run a retreat or whether you want to build a Facebook group, whatever those things are, we have all of that. But more than that, and I think the main thing about our community is that we focus on what we call the U growth zone. And that's a little bit about what Nichole was talking about. We truly believe that your confidence, your ability to be brave, to be bold, to ask questions, to get support, to feel confident in the direction you're taking in your business, knowing that it's not just a hobby, that you are building a business that is going to provide for you, for your family, that is going to allow you to make an impact, is why we do what we do. I'm very proud of what we do. I'm very excited that we're opening the door for 3 days only. And if you head on over to herbusinessnetwork.com, you will get on the list so that when we open the doors, you'll get the invitation that morning, and we'll have a number of different bonuses and fun things available for you and those of you who are joining, as well as making available our goals groups, which are our accountability groups, which come free as a bonus when you join the Her Business Network. I'll be telling you more about that as we get closer to that date, but you do want to be on the list to get that invitation. So head on over to herbusinessnetwork.com. Have a great week. If you have any questions at all, drop them here below. Thank you so much for joining us here today. I'll be back a little later in the week because we are doing something really fun. Actually, tomorrow we are doing something really fun. I'll tell you more about that later today. Bye for now.